Hello, everyone. Welcome to Quest Unplayed. We're three gamers. We were three gamers, but Zach is learning a little bit late. But three gamers talk about everything and anything about gaming and have fun together. I am George, the co-host of Quest Unplayed, and this quest is joined by Anthony.
Hello, everyone.
Zach is coming. Don't worry, you guys. And then we also have other guests. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How are you guys
Hi.
doing?
Doing good. I'm YenTing, by the way.
Yes, and
Nice.
I'm Ferran.
Yes, Ferran and YenTing. Thank you for joining. So before we start, this podcast is sponsored by Minimap, your ultimate gaming hub, and a gaming companion app. So you can sync your game accounts, make your own game collections, connect with other gamers in our community, and basically do anything and everything about gaming on Minimap. And let's play that sponsor video. All right. So, what do you think about the music, Yensing, as a musician?
It's nice. It's a perfect ad and menu music.
Yes. We'll probably discuss more about your studio and how you guys have made the beautiful game called Offscore. But before we start, could you guys tell us a little bit about your studio, you two, and a little bit about the game?
All right, so I'll start first. So my name is YenTing, and I'm from Taiwan. Also now currently based in Taiwan. Myself, I am a full-time music worker. So I make music. I perform. I also write for people, arranging, producing, and I sing. And I actually never really get into games until I met Ferran.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah, and
yeah,
Ferran is a
I'm Ferran. I'm a computer science background person who has worked on video games for the last 10 years, kind of. I've been freelancing mainly as a programmer, and then I've been also working on a lot of indie and smaller projects, some collaborations, and recently I've collaborated more and more with YenTing. I'm from originally from Barcelona, Spain, but I'm currently here in Taiwan,
Hmm.
in Taipei. And then we've been working on many small music related games together for
Yeah.
the last many years.
yeah.
And Offscore, which is this trailer that we're looking at, is our
Biggest
ongoing project. Yeah, our
yeah.
biggest project, ongoing for the last
Hmm.
5 years almost.
Yes.
Yeah. So we will talk about that more later, I guess.
Yes.
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 All right. Yeah, I actually did play the game, and Zach is here, so I'm just going to let him in.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. Yeah,
Good.
that's how
Hi.
you
Yeah.
you're in your right spot.
Yep, I made it to the right spot. But you're actually in the perfect timing because we're about to take the gamer type quiz, where you can kind of take a breather and kind of see the vibe of
Yeah.
the guests.
Uh,
So yes,
mhm.
like we always do, let's take the gamer type quiz.
How would this work? Because
Yeah.
now there's
I
How
guess
do
we
we
could-
do it? Do we
That's-
split?
I
or-
mean, you guys, it's up to you guys because you guys can choose one person, or you guys can kind of make an agreement between for the
Let's make it
for
an
the-
agreement.
Okay,
okay, it's going to be the combined gamer type. Sure.
okay, combined gamer
Twisted
type.
personality.
Okay, so it's finally the weekend after a long tiring week. Do you play a game with friends or alone?
Okay, we're already having
Mm.
different answer, I think.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, the weekend.
I would definitely choose. I need to spend quality game time alone.
I would actually say so too. I
Yeah?
think the weekend
Okay.
is more like
Yay.
reflective. Yes.
Agreed.
Okay, wonder why you guys are a good team for several more years. Okay, second question. The new game just released isn't my type, but a friend is urging me to play with. You first refuse, but you play together anyways, or you just play right away after your friends suggest it.
Definitely the first one.
Yeah,
I
me
think.
too. The
Yeah.
first one.
All right. On a roll. Number three, you are thinking about joining a community with strict terms to get game information. From self-introduction to attendance check, that's too much, or it is good information, so you stick with it.
Okay.
No, if I would choose the second. It has good information, so getting rank up back to third is no problem.
I think so too. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I think if it's worth information,
Okay, nice.
yes.
Before buying a game, you carefully read over other people's review, watch the trailer, check the price, or if the game looks interesting, you just trust your instinct and go for it.
Carefully read
Yes,
over.
carefully. Yes.
Okay, you guys,
Well, it's not. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, the first one.
good team. You guys are a good team so far. All right. Next question. If someone is watching you play a game from behind, it's perfect opportunity to show your amazing gameplay, or you're actually good at it, but you miss skill shots because of the pressure.
Pressure. I got a lot of pressure if there's people behind me.
For me, I don't mind like people watching.
Okay, then you choose.
Ooh.
So I don't think it's necessarily the perfect opportunity to show off because like that's
Oh.
what the first one implies. It's not like
Right.
I would like to show off, but I wouldn't mind. So
Okay.
let's go for the second one. Maybe it's I think
Okay.
it fits more.
Okay. So you're kind of in between, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Next question. You're playing a newly released game for the first time. Rather than having regrets later on about missing something, you go over the tutorial, or the game looks similar to the ones you've played before, so you skip tutorial.
No, I never skip tutorial. Tutorial are part of the game to me. So I would I might skip them if I find them boring, but first you definitely I would
You
start with
try it.
tutorial. Yeah, yeah.
I'm convinced.
Right, okay. 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 You are playing a mystery solving game. Based on your years of experience in mystery solving game, that guy is the culprit, or though that person looks suspicious, you need to start collecting evidence first.
Evidence.
Yeah, evidence.
Yes. Okay, next question. In order to equip the rune that increases defense by 0.01%, you have to return to the lobby. You just go because your friends are waiting, or you will make them wait so you can go back to the lobby and equip the rune.
Yeah, I would not make them wait if people are waiting and it's for like a small
Is
thing
it-
like this.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Yes.
Are you just saying, or just okay, next question? During gameplay, your companion's character has been bitten by a zombie. You might be able to find a cure, so you decide to accompany them, or everyone in your group can be can get infected, so you choose to kill them, even though it is tragic.
No, I
Mm.
would find a cure.
Yeah. Let's find a cure. I also First, I would try to find a cure. If I fail, then sure.
I mean, if you fail, everyone dies. Though.
No.
Everyone becomes a zombie.
No. But first, you do the good thing. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Next, even if you don't express it, it feels like you keep losing because of your friends. First, are you not feeling well? You lift up your friend's spirit, or you send them a link to characters' tips and tricks.
I would say the first one. Like try to live.
Yeah.
I think the mood is a big part of everything. And even if you're losing, just try to have fun with your friend. I think that's the
That's
important
what
part.
the multiplayer game is about, right? It's just spending
Okay.
time together.
All right. Next question. The character has bad performance, but the appearance is totally my type. Considering the balance of our party, I cannot put them in my party, or you have to put your favorite character no matter what.
I don't really care about the appearance.
No, yeah, I think I would think about the party. Yes,
Okay.
more than
The ba-
what it looks like or how much I
Okay.
like it. It's-
So you guys are not about customizing the.
I
the
mean,
appearance.
That's still fun, but
it still affects. I don't know, like if you have a nice hat or if you have a nice weapon, right? It's like shit, I want to, but I would think about like, okay, are we going to win or not? No, together.
Yeah, I guess losing is not fun. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
So your current desktop is messy with tons of icons, or neatly clean.
Mine is quite clean actually.
I have not I think I don't put things on my desktop.
Yeah, me
so
neither either.
It's
So
very clean, but I have
Okay.
not really checked it for a long
desktop
time.
is just an image, and
Okay.
that's it.
Nice. Okay. Before getting into the game, you search the internet just in case you end up missing achievements, or you have never played a game for the achievements.
Oh, I don't play for the achievement.
Mm, I don't
Mm,
think I would play for the achievement first. I think the first time you play, you just
Mm,
play and
right.
you go blindly, right?
Me
So,
too.
Mm.
But usually he will remind me that there's still something else
like,
to
clearly there's
find.
something
Yeah.
there, right?
He will guide like, have you checked there? Yeah.
Yeah, so enjoy the game first, and then after that, you're like,
Yes,
oh, I gotta go there, go here,
definitely.
or no. Okay. Last question. You who happen to play lots of games, play a game you feel like playing at the moment from your collection, or you have a gaming schedule.
Mm.
Mm,
No, I will go for the first one.
I
Yeah,
don't play that many, unfortunately. So
I will
go
go
for
for
his
play the
answer.
game that you feel
The
like.
moment. Okay.
Yes,
Let's, yeah, let's see what kind of gamer type you are. Okay, you are the perfect ranger.
just as planned.
Yep. Blunt when chatting. It's not there, it's there. Correct someone in a group chat. Once once
Oh.
you're trapped to a good game, you pull an all-nighter.
Mm.
You play a
mm.
co-op game, but playing solo is better. Thanks
Mhm.
for the help, but a ranger hunts alone. You like playing solo. You don't care if other players die in a battle as long as you have some time.
That is the perfect ranger.
That is a ranger.
Mm.
Zero interest in character customization and decorations. You have little to no reaction, so even if you have turned your mic on Discord, people think your mic is broken.
It's funny.
Wow.
Yesterday I was playing, and actually
Wow.
I was feeling very tired, so I did not speak much. I was playing with friends. So
Wow.
that checks out. Yes.
What were you playing?
Recently I'm playing Deadlock with some friends. The new Valve game.
Mm,
Ah.
that's still in
Interesting
the
game.
that's still in the testing, right? The alpha
Yeah,
or
yeah.
beta.
Like
I
the
don't know.
closed testing that you can invite all your friends over. Yes.
Yeah. If you guys want, I can send you an invite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach actually played that.
Yeah,
It
I
was
don't know.
okay. It was all right. It's a lot to understand if you've never played a MOBA before.
Mm,
Because
Yeah.
it's a very first person MOBA, like building stuff, and it's not a bad game. It's just very detailed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah. And also for the gamer type, you're gonna be good with passionate monarch and bad with chatty bard.
mm.
And we also give you a lot of meticulous games. But
Oh,
okay,
there's like a game
So it's also
suggestion,
recommending.
recommendation,
yes, there'll
or
be suggestion. Yeah, if
That's
you kind of
nice.
click it,
oh,
you kind of can see all these
Baldur's
game.
Oh.
Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate.
Gate 3. Yeah, I should check that. Actually, I have many friends who worked in this game, and I haven't checked it out. I'm sorry about that.
Oh,
Oh.
I mean, it was the game of the year of last year. So,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And it was
but
made in big part in Barcelona, actually, like the development team.
oh, the
Oh.
wait, I forgot the Larian, right?
Larian
I mean,
Studios,
Larian.
yeah.
which I think it's a Polish company, but they bought a studio in Barcelona who worked in Baldur's Gate for a long time.
Nice. All right. But yeah, anyways, thank you for taking the test. We loved it.
Our first duo test takers.
Yes, that was the first. I don't know if there's gonna be any more, but like this is gonna be first
I'm
ever duo test
surprised
taker.
that worked out because I was not
Yeah.
expecting it to
I
work
was
out.
like, are they gonna fight? Are we gonna see them fight like argument or
Maybe
something?
maybe in development we could get a co-op test started, or
Yes, yes.
Yeah, something like that.
That'd be funny. But anyways, yeah, okay. So let's move on to our first waypoint, the bulletin board waypoint. This is where we talk about the weekly game news. The first one is that Nintendo acquired Monolith, which is a studio that was famous for their game Xenoblade series. and I know that they have had like close relationship with Nintendo in the first place. So I actually read some articles, and then they said the Monolith was also in part helping out with development of the Legend of Zelda series as well. So they've been basically been working together in a way, I guess. But
Yeah,
Nintendo,
for a long time,
yeah, and Nintendo just fully kind of acquired them.
Mm.
Just,
quietly.
quietly, yes. Slowly but surely, they've been
But you could tell
acquired.
that it's like Nintendo. Nintendo, once Nintendo see a studio that they really could see a potential, they won't let go of it.
Yeah, they won't.
That's what they did with Monolith, which they've been working with Monolith for about 17 years, developing games together.
Mm.
17 years. That's a long
Mhm.
time.
Hmm
Wow.
It
Yeah.
says
But
they've been
now,
slowly acquiring them too
yeah,
from
and now
Bandai
Monolith is
Namco.
part of now is part of the Nintendo's family now.
Once you're in
Yeah,
that
I mean,
Nintendo family, you get full protection. But yeah, go ahead.
protection. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, there's
Welcome to the family.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm curious about what led to this, right? Because I mean, there's a lot of other like HAL Laboratory who became part of Nintendo already, or like the even like the
Mhm.
Pokemon series, right? Which is or like
Mm.
Game Freak. I'm not so sure. They're still like separate companies, but they work tightly with Nintendo, like what you were saying. So
Right, right.
yeah.
Yeah. Just quick question as an indie dev, like what like how would you feel if some like big company like Nintendo or I don't know Sony would like suggests or offers you to like acquire your studio? Like, would that be like a good thing for you guys, or would that be like a bad thing for you guys? Because indie devs, they have their own unique kind of like perspective of taking game development because they're very separate and indie. But
Yeah, I mean, I think, of course, it would probably be like a good thing economically,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
at the same time, I think if everything just becomes two or three companies, the monopolization of the industry, I don't think that's necessarily good.
Mm,
So yeah, I would take this. I don't know. Like recently, there's been more and more studios shutting down, a lot of
mm,
people out of work on the games industry. So it just I just see it as like a consequence of like things are going in a certain direction. I don't
mhm.
necessarily think it's good. No,
Okay.
I like the different companies existing and making their own games.
True.
Mm.
Yeah, I think they might kind of want to control your like creative, I don't know, ideas
Yeah.
or
But on a personal like career path, it's still not a bad idea because usually most of the game project just last too long,
Mm,
and usually we want to do many different kind of project too. So that's also
mm.
a way to just kind of let other people take over,
Uh,
like
and move on.
and move on, yeah, to
Oh yes,
finally
yes,
another
yes.
project.
Yes.
Otherwise, yeah, that's on the
Yeah.
personal skill. But I also agree that there should be.
I think if you are like on a CEO or like a directive position, it's like, yeah, you can take it like that, no? Like
Yeah,
it's like,
true.
okay,
Yeah.
So it
like
really
somebody's
depends.
buying it off me, and then I can do something else maybe.
Mm,
Uh,
mm. Yeah, I think and also there are a lot of like big company like how recently there have been a lot of indie games that have been successful like Balatro or Dave the Diver and all that, and then they were, or at least like for Dave the Diver, they were like part of a big company and then they're like separating completely. So there's like other way around kind of examples as
right.
well, like they might be try to acquire indie game studio, or they might kind of create something indie within the company and then try to like separate it and then make a different company. So I guess
Yeah.
yeah, and there was like a controversy to should we consider this as an indie game studio or should we not? Or
Yeah. How big was actually Monolith? Do you guys know how many
I
people
think
worked on it?
Monolith isn't. Is it? Should we consider it as like an indie game studio? It's pretty big though, right? It's a.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
like
I don't know if
exact.
Now,
it's indie, but
Yeah,
Well, they were
I
owned
mean,
before them by Bandai
Bandai.
Namco,
Yeah, Bandai Namco was has
and
owned
so
them,
they're a
and
big
then
company. So
yes, I don't know exact like number or like sales figures or how many
Okay.
employees work there, but like
It's an American video game developer based in Kirkland, Washington.
I don't know about
24,000. Oh no.
I don't know about
24,000 people work
employee.
there. Wow.
No, that's shares
No.
of the company.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't think. I think Monolith keep everything very quietly.
Yeah, I've never. I mean, I've heard of them, but like I've never heard big news of.
Well, even when they have game news or development news, like they'll post the news one time and you hear nothing from this for 6 months.
Those are quiet times then.
Yeah, it's like trying to figure out if Hollow Knight is coming or not. The next Hollow Knight game.
So from what I've looked up, it said Monolith Soft, the gaming company behind Xenoblade Chronicles, was considered an indie until Nintendo acquired full ownership of the company.
So now they're not indie then.
Now
They
they're
were
not.
indie
They
until
were
today. They were
Well,
until
until the
I guess.
until the Nintendo Starship went, and then they're like,
you're part of
Well,
us now.
one of us, yeah.
one of us. One. No, yeah. So
Yeah, funding is getting hard these days. So I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of questions here. How come this happened?
You always
Yeah.
wonder. Most studios, all studios, no matter what, do they all started small in the beginning? Because Nintendo started small in the beginning.
I think a lot of them did.
Yeah.
The question
Yeah.
I would have is, I don't know if how small Atari was when it started, but whenever I see a movie about Atari back in the day, it's just a bunch of people sitting in a room like soldering chips into video game cartridges, and it looked like a bunch of them. And I was like, oh, because they were trying to mass produce as many video games as possible. But I don't know. Probably all of them were. You gotta imagine the first time somebody said video games, like, what's a video game? Like back in the Pong
Yeah, like-
times.
Everyone started somewhere.
Yeah.
So for your studio, what's your like kind of like end goal? Like, where do you see like your studio's end goal is?
Mm. Yeah, hopefully not grow big enough so that Nintendo wants to buy us. I don't
Yeah.
think that's our goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's also a weird goal to not get.
To not want that.
That
Okay,
actually is a weird goal. Like, not get acquired.
Wait, let's
by a big
rephrase it. Let's
company.
rephrase it.
We don't want to grow. No.
No, I think in our case, our studio is basically just the couple of people, of friends who are interested on, specifically recently on music games or games around music, but not necessarily rhythm games. And I say that because when you think about music games, the first thing you think about is like, a rhythm game, right? And then our starting point is like, but does it have to be a rhythm game? No? Or what does it mean to if it's not a rhythm game? And I think that's what we've been trying to do. Like we've released some smaller free games that we've done for jams and like for different situations before.
Yeah, we put that on itch.io.
Yes.
So if you are interested, you can also check some demos that is under Ferran's
Yeah,
page.
if you go to the off score and then you can probably find me, and then I am on my each page. You can find some of those games.
I'll put them in the description. Don't worry.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's our studio is basically built around that.
Which is the trying to see what we can develop somewhere between game and music, and what are the different possibilities aside from what we already see in the market. Yeah, and Offscore is particularly talking about storytelling. So Offscore is a way to tell stories through both the music and the game. So the music is not just like a background music to serve the function for the game, and the game is also not just like a music video that serves the music. It's like they're both. We're trying to see what we can find the tools from these two media to narrative
to deliver the story of the that we want to tell.
Yeah.
And in this case, in Offscore is the stories of these songs. No? Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I played them, and I played one of them songs, and then it was pretty touching. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, and then like, at the end you kind of like understand as the music kind of unfolds, you kind of understand like what you're kind of doing in the game. So
Thank you. Which one did you
Yeah.
play? I don't remember.
I played the elephant one.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So all the songs are composed by YenTing, by the way.
Yes.
The music
She,
were all from me. We actually started with my music already being recorded, and then before, like, one that was quite some years ago, and then when I was thinking like, how do I release it? Do I just release it digitally and such? We're just chatting, and then we started to think like, oh, maybe we can make some small interactive thing combining with this music.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
no, we there was one song that somehow became a clear idea of like, oh, this 100% could be a game. And we could make like a build a game around this, because we could use the like the game mechanics, like the things that you do in the game, to actually somehow reflect on what the song is talking about.
Mm.
That was like the original idea, and then we tried that, and then we kind of liked it, and we kept going, and yeah.
It because this set of music, I have many different music projects, but this set of songs is it's called Offscore already, and you can also find it on all the streaming platform. It's released. Is an EP of 5 songs, and then the style. I mean, my writing style on this set is they're all quite fable like, quite metaphorical in the
Mm.
lyrics. And then so it was just like, I mean, this the I think the start of the off score the game project is because like I was just like kind of talking about like, oh, people nowadays, the listening habits is very different. Most people just like play a lot of music every day, but they don't really listen to it. They don't pay much attention to. It's not like back in the time people would sit down in front of a radio or a CD player and then read through their little booklet to just like really
Yes,
like, oh, it's very different listening habits right now. So then I'm like, but it's a shame because I'm a songwriter. I want people to know what I'm actually talking about inside the lyrics. So we're thinking like, hey, how do we kind of try to change people's listening experience,
Mhm.
either on the stage or on just for the recording? Is there a different way to make people either put some input or to get people more involved in
Yeah.
this experience?
To pick people's
Yeah.
the audience interest on like I don't know, about this song and what the story is about the song. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So that's
so
Mm.
very
Okay.
more like, usually like in a game is created and then music is added, but it's like the other way around. It feels like, music was created and then kind of the gameplay mechanic was added so that it can have the potential to deliver the message to its full, I don't know,
Yes. So I
potential,
mean,
yes.
to be fair, I think there's already a lot of inspirations that sorry, there's a lot of games being made with different kind of inspirations. I don't know, like there's movies who inspire games, or there's
Mm.
like books, right? And of
Mhm.
course there's songs, no? And here we are at the full extent of like not only like fully inspired by the song, but it's like actually made for the song and around the song, no? Yeah.
Around the theme of
The theme of the song, and yeah, and as a way to somehow the player explore the song itself too.
Yeah, so it's pretty deep. We should, sorry, we should talk more about the game. I was like
I
listening
don't
to all
know.
these, like, yeah,
I think we
That's
should
pretty
just skip.
deep.
I think we should just go fast forward.
yeah, I know, like this is like so intriguing. Like I just want to hear more about it. But yeah, I'll just
Kind
go
of sounds like
quick.
to me kind of what's that Disney movie that's about? It's literally they compose the music and then they write the cartoon around it. With Mickey's playing with the brooms and
Like the Fantasia
yeah.
2000.
yeah, it sounds like a video game version of that, kind of like the music in the cartoon connects to, but you have the gaming part of that in there instead.
Mm.
Yeah, but originally like the Disney cartoons, right? Like from the beginning, like where there's like these full orchestrations and compositions,
Yeah.
and they really tie with the animation.
I think that's like you can say that as the early music video animation, no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really designed
yes,
for the music. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
yeah. So all right, let's move on to our second news. I just want to quickly go get it over with and then talk more about Hot score and the team because this is more interesting. But yeah, So, second news we want to kind of talk about is the Suicide Squad is gonna be shut. The online version is gonna be shut down, so you can still play solo, but the online mode or multiplayer mode is gonna be shut down. Any thoughts? I know the game wasn't doing so well from the beginning.
I didn't even know they had a multiplayer mode.
It's
that's how
it's
bad it
like
was.
it's like one of those things where you've been doing something good with your studio, but then you decide to go out of your comfort zone and try something new.
Yeah.
And as a result, this is what happened when you try something new.
Yeah.
That most of your fans who knows what kind of games you make, they're like, "What in the world did you make?"
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, what wasn't that? Never. Who made that game?
What?
Warner.
Oh,
Which one?
Warner.
who's the developer?
Oh,
It's
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so they made all the Batman games. So they made all the
Mm.
single player Batman games, all the single player ones, and then they decided to try something new outside the comfort zone and
Yeah.
decide to turn it into online.
Yeah. It's
It's like what EA does sometimes.
yeah. It's
You know what's
it-
sad is as a comic book collector, I know I'm outing myself. The Suicide Squad before they made movies and all these other things for them was actually a very interesting IP and still is. It's just that I feel sometimes when you get a big company like that and they're like, we got to make some money, let's make a game out of this, kind of ruins it. You know what I mean? Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool idea. And then I saw all the flashy stuff and hey, do you want to get the battle pass and the skins? I was like, I'm good. I don't really want to play this anymore. Like, it kind of turned me off a little bit. I was like, oh,
So it was like a free to play kind of. Sorry, I have not played Suicide Squad.
no.
Like,
It would
Hmm.
first. It was. I think
Oh
it became free to play. But
no!
it is
what
it
I
came
see
out
on
like for
Steam,
$60 or
yeah,
$80,
like
right?
70 or 60 US
So
dollar.
so when it first came out, it was like people. It was like 60 AAA title price games, and
Hmm.
then I guess months later, like 2 or 3 months later, the price went down from AAA to indie price, which is 15.
Yeah,
oh
it
my
went down
god.
real fast.
And then even went down really fast. I think the lowest I ever saw was $5.
Five
Hmm.
dollars. Oh my god. I mean, it's still. I mean, if you go to Steam page, you can still. It still costs like what, $70 or something, 60
Yeah,
But
something
did
it's
bucks.
it
like it's like
didn't it
almost like
launch with a
that.
bunch of bigger titles too, though, or is it just was it just
Well,
not?
it's just that it's that point of like they went out of their comfort zone. They
Yeah.
shouldn't have went to an online, but I bet
That's
you
why I
they
always
got
stay in my
pressure.
comfort zone.
That's why
Yeah.
maybe because they got pressured by the higher ups to do something different, make a new
Yeah.
IP, and they had no choice but to do it. But in the end, I bet you they would probably wanted to like keep doing what they were doing before and
Yeah.
what they love to do best. It's storytelling.
Right
Yeah.
on the on the Batman series, right? Like the Arkham series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
Batman's
you can play
series is
Batman for
fantastic.
I mean, I'm
yeah.
just looking at the trailer right now. I actually was not aware this existed. This game, the Suicide Squad.
So that
That's
might
how
have been
bad it
another
is.
problem. Is there's people who don't even know the game exists.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, it's not the kind of game I would play. But at the same time, I'm looking at it. Like this super high production budget on art, and like
Mhm.
you can tell, like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
my, it's like a triple A clearly game. That's why it has the triple A price. Needs to make profit, but yeah, like it looks like a lot of hours of a lot of people have been put on this
Yeah.
game. That's what
yeah.
I'll say.
Probably.
I mean,
Probably
it
the
had
100. Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So it had a pretty decent story to it. It was literally basically all the superheroes became evil because they were their mind gets taken over, right? And so Suicide Squad gets tasked for killing them. But how do you kill an evil version of Superman or an evil version of Flash? You know, it becomes tricky when you're
Mhm.
not as strong
Mhm.
as them. So the idea around it was cool. I just honestly, as somebody even a comic book guy, I just never really. I really honestly, to be fair, the price even when it first came out, I was like, nope,
Oh,
I'm not doing it.
speaking of story, Suicide Squad also got delayed by 1 year from release date.
Mhm.
So that's another like like millions of dollars spent.
They were supposed to release at a certain time, but it keeps getting pushed back, pushed back. It got pushed back almost a year.
They're like,
Wow.
well, I mean, hopefully after this they can bounce back and do what they do best.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's it's hard.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It is. It was
So
money and layoffs. They did layoffs too.
because of the money then. Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah. The bad vicious cycle of money.
That's why
Liam.
whenever you hear about these big
Or
companies,
not-
like, oh, they got to be making all this money, but then you hear about everybody losing their jobs. You're like,
Like-
maybe being a small indie team is good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. So that's what we're
yeah.
gonna do, right? We're indie team. Okay, got it.
So how like what's your goal for like your studio? Like do you want to keep, I know it's a 3 people studio, I would assume from the studio name, or so what's like the optimum size that you guys want to grow up to? Do you guys want to keep it into 3, or do you want like
I think it's nice the core stays small,
Mm-hmm.
but we do still ask like different friends who are good at different like other profession, you know, like 3D model or some animation, like help inside when we need.
Mhm.
But I also think it's a bit too early to say like what is the goal for this team, because we're also kind of just starting and now we're reaching like trying to pitch for publisher. So I think me personally, I'm still open for what possibilities are there. I don't know what is good and bad for different paths.
Yeah, I think definitely it's nice to be able to stay small if you can.
Yes.
Currently, because and be able to keep discussions in a small group and decisions. I would say, I personally, I have worked as a freelancer, like on a bit bigger teams, making games too. And yeah, I don't know, like one of the nice things about working on this game is that the team is small. Like as you said, it's like 3 core members, but actually
Mhm.
five, 6, depends on the moment of like, now we need somebody to help on marketing, and then we try to find somebody to help us, or like in 3D model we need a pass to do more things. But yeah, I don't know, recently a friend of mine, which is an indie, he's saying like, the ideal team number is 5 people. And he was arguing about it, Adrian de Jong. I don't think 5 is a good number. Yeah, I don't know if I would like to grow much more, but of course that limits what you can do, but
Yes.
that's for good sometimes. No, it's like that's your limitation. So yeah, you might make saner decisions, if that's a word. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a word. That's a very good word.
You know,
Yes.
you know what they say. Just keep like the 3 Musketeer stories. Just keep it small. Don't add any
Yes.
more else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you grow too big, I guess you can't handle or do
Yeah,
the same thing they
eventually
used to.
get
Yeah.
bought by Nintendo, right? So
Yeah.
In that case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
awesome.
move on then, since we're there now.
Yeah.
If Nintendo ever folded, I would probably fall out of my chair.
So hold on. If Nintendo came to your house and offer you a job, will you take it?
Me or them?
Oh, you? Oh, no. All of us. All of us.
Honestly, I do respect Nintendo's work enough that I would probably take it, and I'd like to know more about how Nintendo works and everything. Yeah, there's a lot of development teams inside Nintendo, and I would be very curious to know more about how the system works. Even though I am very much aware that it's like a very big Japanese company where there's like a clear hierarchy, power structure. So yeah, I don't know how fun it would be, but I would be very interested. Yes.
It'd be an interesting
That's a good
opportunity.
yeah. That would be kind of cool to be a part of, like just to see what I think that'd be cool to see what happens like uncut in one day at Nintendo with how that because some of their games, let's be honest, most Nintendo games seem like they're full of fun and they're enjoyable and there's love in them. But I wonder if there's somebody that's not like, you will make this fun, and people are like, oh god, yes. And so they're over there like calling our families. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. Yeah.
It's funny.
uh,
Sorry, small inside this. Do you guys this Sakurai Masahiro Sakurai is it called, like the guy from the Super Smash Brothers,
uh-huh.
the main designer who recently started the YouTube channel like a couple of years ago. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I haven't checked out the YouTube channel.
Masahiro Sakurai. And then he made his YouTube channel and he started sharing things about like how he makes his games and said. And then
Yeah.
at the end, he recently made a video about how was the process of making this YouTube channel while also working at Nintendo, and this description of like the day of like going to the office and then going to these different house to record these videos, and it has to be different. Anyway, it sounded like so much work and also so much dedication out of him. But also,
Masahiro
like,
Sakura,
oh my God,
right?
what about his family, right? I really, one of the first things I thought is like, oh my God, he really feels like somebody who is spending as much of his life working on, like devoted to his work.
Yeah.
That yeah, that's something I'm not so sure I'm willing to give up. That's what I wanted to say. That's it.
No, you're good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It looks like he has 639 subscribers. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a very nice series of videos about game design and about making games. I definitely, anybody
cool.
interested about that, check it out. He's very nice production too, and yeah.
Nice. You should go
Yeah.
subscribe.
And he also created Kirby. So
Yes.
you know how I feel about Kirby.
Yeah, Zach is a big fan of Kirby.
I just want to be
All
Bob
right.
this week.
Yep. So let's talk more about Offscore and the studio. I think we're good enough for the news.
We're there.
Yes, the companion waypoints. This is where we meet the dev. We already met them, but so we should definitely watch the trailer with music because this is a game
With
that
music.
was created with music, or music was created before the game. I don't know, but actually, so let's watch the trailer together with sound this time.
Haven't realized that to the space we're relatively just the same. To the time we're relatively just a glance. We'll dance in line and sing just once. Relativity of two events.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
First, I gotta ask a
actually-
question real
Yeah, go ahead.
quick.
Go for it.
Was that you playing the guitar too?
Me? No. It's
Oh,
recorded this when I study in Amsterdam, and so these the rest of the band is my fellow musicians in the school.
okay.
Mm.
Very international
I
team.
was feeling it. I was feeling that guitar.
I know, right?
Actually, he's a very good guitarist. Yes,
Yeah.
And then the singer too, right? Singer is
the singer is
That's
very
you.
good too.
I'm the singer.
I figured it. Yeah.
I figure that's a figure also.
Well,
Yeah.
it kind of gave me like really jazzy, like
yes.
smoky vibes, and I that's why I really digged it. But that guitar with the music, the singing and stuff, I was like, oh wow, I've seen it the trailer a couple times, so but it's good every time.
Thank you. You can check out the full music. On Spotify and
Yeah,
everywhere.
Spotify. Yes. So after I played that game that day, I've been jamming that music as well. While I'm working,
It's
especially
working.
while I was working out. Playing here and there. So I've been feeling it.
Alice, I remember everything.
Yes, exactly. I love it. So yeah. How did you three meet? What
Right,
was the
so-
origin story of the studio?
The story behind the start of the story.
Anyway, so
yeah.
okay, the team again is me, Ferran, YenTing, and then there's Vanya. Vanya does all of the art basically. mostly 2D art and concept art. And then we designed the games together. Basically, we try to meet and then it's like discuss and then iterate, right? So originally, I have been working as a freelancer programmer on several games and many prototypes that will never go released, unfortunately.
You never know.
But no, I mean, and then I met Vanya working there. Basically, Vanya is my coworker on several of the projects that I was freelancing for, and then we hit it off very well, and we started making. We made a couple of jam games also together. Yeah, so that's how I met Vanya, and then YenTing. I met YenTing many years ago,
10,
10 years ago, kind of.
11 years ago in Sweden. We are both exchange
Oh.
students back then.
You guys are
So-
international. So like global team.
Yeah, I
You
was
guys
like,
meeting everywhere.
everywhere.
Flew around.
Yeah,
Yeah, so basically we met in Stockholm, where we both study, and then afterward we're just like trying different kind of project out around, like with what he's good at and what I'm good at. So it's been fun
yeah.
creating.
So,
things.
so what is your background in YenTing actually?
My first bachelor degree was in industrial design. So I personally love design related things. But then afterward, I went to Amsterdam to study jazz, and now I feel like I'm still doing some part of design thing. You know, when we're doing design, like the design thinking is still kind of in my projects, and of course, music now is like my main title in most of the cases. Yeah, so that's what I do.
But
right
then
now.
like when we met and then we spent a lot of time together and eventually started like trying things, no. I've been always very interested in video games. That's the main reason when I went into computer science, is because for me that was the most logical. Like, I think games are an interesting media for, yeah, like for telling stories and like systems, exploring how things work. Computers are very interesting to me. So I went into computer science, and then I started trying to make games, and ever since, no. And then whenever I had the chance to collaborate with people who I think are doing cool stuff and inspiring stuff, I always try to see like, okay, can we make a game together, and how does that work, look like, and feel like? Yeah.
Awesome.
Very good origin story.
Yes, very, very
Very
good.
good.
I gotta, yes. You can tell I don't know. You can tell everyone that how you guys met. It's like multi-talented, I don't know, country, national. Like I don't even know what to say.
Like very smooth jazz. Everything's coming
Yes,
together.
very, very. Like, so, is there a particular reason why you guys didn't come up with like a actual studio name yet, or is it just you guys already have it, it just didn't put it up on Steam, or?
We now, I mean, we're still especially this past year, we've been trying to see how do we call ourselves, like on the game
The
project,
branding.
and also the branding thing, because at the beginning we just called this project the game Off Score, but now we decide to call the game Off Score column a game of songs. We find that easier to get people to know what we actually like, to straight to the point, and then Off Score become the team name.
Yeah.
Actually now.
So because the
Oh.
team kind of came together for the project, but like the off-score project is like it's that this reason why we're together and working together. So that back then we just didn't come up with a team name. It was just like,
Yeah.
we're just like three people working on this. And then we explored that. We even applied to some funds, like public funds for like development of like digital media and such, and we did get one. So it's like, okay, like let's try to see if this works. And then we reached the point where right now we almost have like this game, right? This product, you could say. But yeah, we have gone ahead with all this development without really starting from the beginning, thinking about like, okay, how do we call our studio? No, what is
Yeah.
our studio goal and such. The goal was Off Score, was the project. So that's where we are
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
But if you go check our press kit now, you will see that now we call ourselves Off Score, and the thing we
Okay.
make is Off score a game of songs. Yes,
Something like that. Yes.
Nice.
current.
S- So
And
I know you guys so far have 3 songs, right?
Yeah, we
Okay.
decide to make that one pack.
Yes.
Originally, we like the EP has 5 songs, so originally we are ambitious enough to think that maybe we can make 5 interactive tracks, but in the end, it just it took us forever to
Yeah.
make
It,
to
it, it
make
take, making
yeah.
games takes time, especially when
Mhm.
it's not something you're fully committed to. Like in our case, like
It's
it's
our
always been a
side
side
project.
project.
Yeah.
So right now we reached the point where like, okay, this is something that we think is worth bringing out to the world in the form of a game that we actually try to sell
Mm.
on Steam or like mobile platforms if we in the future too. But yeah, so that's where we are right now.
Yes. So there's 3 songs.
There is 3 songs. Yes.
I think a mobile version would be nice.
Yeah. I do. So personally, when I was learning computer science, like studying up, growing up, it was like when smartphones started to become a thing. So to me, smartphones like a touch screen. I don't know. It's something very interesting, and I feel like it has a lot of potential. Unfortunately, though, the market in the mobile world has become a thing where it's full of free games, free to play, people trying to compete for the player's attention and time. So there's less and less what you would now call premium games. No, there's less and less games where you
Mm.
actually have to buy the game. And yeah, and this might be changing, but right now it's a hard place to be on, and it's definitely a hard place to make money on if you have an experience that you don't want to. Our game is not a free to play game. It's not a replayable
Yeah.
game. You have to come back over and over. No, so I think for us, we have agreed and found out that like the smart decision would be let's try to release this on computer on a place like Steam where people still like buy games and
Mhm.
appreciate even if it are games like ours, which is a rather short game. And then definitely this game was always designed for mobile devices, and in mine at least the interaction really works for touch, and that's really part of how we originally envisioned it. But we definitely would need either a publishing partner for that, or we will do it eventually when we have the time and money, because don't we can't have guarantees that we'll do any like
Mhm.
monetary wise, like will we make money of putting this on mobile platform. Probably it's going to be a lot of headaches for us and not so much money. So that's the reality.
it's a good call. It's good. Pros and cons there list.
Yeah.
George asks that from everybody. I promise you.
Yeah.
I'm just picking on you,
course.
George.
Of course he does.
He's like, it's all gotta be mobile. I swear. No, I'm just picking.
I mean, I play a lot of mobile games because
Yeah.
because
Yes,
of
we
my
know.
We
yes,
know,
my
we
Master
know.
Son.
You like you like your mobile games.
I mean, mobile games are. I mean, they're easy, right? Because you don't have to go sit down, turn things on. You can just flip it up, and
I mean, they are easy, like you said, because everyone has a phone, pretty much.
Yeah.
sometimes you
But
rarely find somebody with a flip phone. You know.
but how often does people like to look at their screen that's so small?
Actually, I don't know. I always feel like that because I also work on a computer. I have a big enough screen and I'm so comfortable there. And I see people working
That's
on their
true.
phones or on their small
There you
tablets
go.
all the time, like spending so much hours there. I feel like, oh my God, how do people do this? But I do feel a lot of people do that. And
I
yeah.
I can't do that.
I when I used to do lots of mobile game content. I literally just screen shared, or I mean, I didn't screen share it. I would plug it into my screen capture that you would plug in for like a
Mm.
Nintendo, not Nintendo, but like any other game console, right? And I would just play it on my computer. I would have the controls here, and I'm like, yeah, with the headphones in. So I kind of cheated a little bit. I won't lie.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of kids growing right now, they probably don't have this kind of setup of like understanding of like
Yeah.
you have a desk and a keyboard and like a big screen, like
Mm.
maybe yeah, it's something that you have to learn after.
Hmm.
So yeah.
You just
And-
collect. You
yeah.
just connect it to one of those new projectors. Just play it on the wall.
The school projectors, the big ones.
The ones you see on TikTok every couple of minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they also have the application where you can play mobile games on your computer too, right? The BlueStack
Yeah.
Well,
allows
Well,
you
actually,
to.
now Google
it's
Play actually has a beta where you can just download Google Play on your computer. Google Play is a game
yeah.
beta. The only thing that kind of is annoying about that is because I love it. There is some mobile games I still play and I love. It's just that unless you go in and rewrite the route yourself within the code, if you don't and you don't know how to do that, you could potentially cause some issues. It always will go to your C drive, and C drives are not known for having a lot of space.
Mm.
So it can take up a chunk, and then if you have games on there, but I have the Google Play beta, and I have Epic 7 on here and all kinds of games. I play Epic 7 on my computer all the time
Hmm.
because it's one of my favorite RPGs. Shout out. Just kidding. Um, no, but yeah, I think it's I have actually had a dev send me a game to test out on the mobile, and I think his game was like $3. You have to buy it. I don't know how well he did, but he ended up going. He started on mobile. He went back. He ended up going to Steam because mobile didn't do so well, and he did better on
Mm.
Steam. It was actually a really fun game too. It was like
Yeah. I mean, most people like to start on Steam, I guess. Steam is a great place, I guess you could call it, to test out your game.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do think for indie games, it is easier to, especially like the whole getting to the players who might buy your game, right? Like the visibility. I feel like Steam does a better job at recommending stuff, or like, oh, you've played this and that,
Mm.
so what about this other game?
check
And they
this
do
out. Yeah.
they do these events where it's like, next fest. No, it's like, check out these games that haven't come out yet, but you can play the demo. All this doesn't happen on Google Play or like the App Store. So yeah, I feel like
Moreover, I think the most difficult thing is that we want to make sure our game is presented in the right device, so including
Format.
like headphone and everything, because we want to make sure that they're actually listening to our
Yes.
game when they play. But most people, they like phone mobile player, they're probably just playing their phone on the bus, on the metro, and they don't bother.
I mean, you can ask them, please wear headphones.
Yeah,
right?
but
Yeah.
but they're not going to put forward their mind. So we actually do want people to like be ready, sit down,
yeah,
just
In a
don't
quiet
Because
place.
your
Yeah.
because your game is basically, you need to be immersed in a way.
exactly.
Yes.
and yeah, people who play, like when you play on the bus or on the metro or on the train, you're not going to have like your full mind most of the
No.
time, right? I mean, I might be wrong. There might be people who is like, no, I have like a 30 minutes drive or something, and I'm just going to put my headphones or something and just play super concentrated. This fair, but a lot of people is like playing just looking out or like more casual games. Our game is not an extremely casual puzzle game. No.
As
Yeah,
a, as
it's
a
it's risky, I think, because we cannot guarantee if
Mm.
a big percentage of them will try it the way we want them to play it. So even if the mobile will reach out to more people, but it's just harder to make it a good experience. Yeah, sorry, interrupt.
no,
No,
but yeah,
that was perfect.
yeah.
In fact, it actually made me think. Would you ever think about doing a VR version? Because then you would really be like, you could have it all around you.
We have thought about it.
We did for the elephants. We started with
Oh.
a VR prototype, but
I can
Yes,
see you
the
staring
elephants.
yeah, being chased by.
Yeah, we because I got like a HTC Vive like almost when it came out, actually, for myself, but then also for work. And then we did try a bit, but yeah, we even had some planning. We started prototyping a game of this series, like of the Off Score, one of the songs, like really for VR. Yeah, it's just VR. It's hard to develop for. and also there's just not so many people who would watch it. So we just try to get some funding for it. It did not happen, so that's it. It's like
Yeah, I think funding and marketing is the most tricky part, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I heard from many indie game devs, they said, developing itself or creating something is the easy part because, getting the right funding, marketing, all that is the most difficult and most tricky part because they're not, most of them are like, solo devs or, they have like maybe 2 or 3 people working on it. And most of them are like, developers, not like marketers or studying the business, or especially they're in the indie game dev scene, so they don't have too much of a network or anything to begin with. So that's probably a lot of a problem or issue for them.
Hmm.
And adding on to the mobile thing, there's no guarantee that you're going to be successful. Like if you have to kind of like pick like an area where you have to focus first, and then try it out, and then see like how the audiences feel about it, and then kind of move on. So you can't like have this area and then try VR, try mobile, and try consoles or anything, because that's going to take a lot of time and money too.
Yeah, I really do think so. I feel like the games that there's some games that we look up to, like indie games that have released from I don't know, like there's this. Do you guys know this game called Kids? For example, Kids, like we are kids. It's a
I'll
animation
look
kind of
into it.
black and white game. A bit puzzly, but like a very surreal game. They were published, I think, by Double Fine actually, but they released on mobile at the
Mm.
same time as they released on Steam.
Mm.
So basically, they did like a marketing push, and development push, where they made sure they released on Steam like nicely, and then also had the mobile builds ready, and then they did like a huge push on like when they released, like to try to reach as many media as possible. And also their game is great, so it really helped. So I probably think on their case they probably did okay on mobile because the game also did well on other platforms.
Yes.
So
That's I think that's
What was it
also
called?
true
It
for
was
yeah.
a. Oh,
Go
I'm
ahead, go
sorry.
ahead, Zach. No, go ahead,
yeah,
go ahead, Zach. Go ahead, go ahead.
it's
My bad. I was gonna say, was it black and white
black and white, just
with
play
beautiful
kids.
music, like little
Black
people
and
walking
white
around?
thing.
I mean,
Beautiful.
yeah,
I don't
the
remember
sound is very, very nice.
Yeah.
Music, I don't know if there's a lot. It's probably mostly background, but it's like this
Oh,
little
it's just for the trailer.
people
Walking
yeah,
around.
walking around and running around.
Like a little black hole and stuff.
Yeah.
That one.
That's called
it's great.
Kids. A game of crowds. It's called.
Yes.
Uh,
They have
It's,
they
$4 on Steam.
they're interesting reference for us too, because they also cross like between animation, and then they did like a real physical exhibition
Oh,
for
yeah.
their work too. And because at the beginning we're also thinking like, oh, our game is like, the playtime is short. Are we actually more um should we consider also presented in like more installation or a real kind of display in a space? So at the beginning we also look into how they actually work, because we're also crossing between like music and game, and they're also crossing really on a animation and interactive thing. So yeah, it's very cool. It's not a typical game, so it's worth check out if you like our kind of this kind of undefined undefined experience.
No, but
Yeah.
they
like that.
do a very good job. Like I think their game is very nice. Yeah.
Very artistic.
Yeah, it
Check it
looks
out.
pretty.
Yeah.
It reminds me of another developer we had on here earlier. Well, I don't know if it reminds me. I haven't really played it, but the look of that game looks kind of similar to a game. Have you heard of a game called Haunty? HAUNTII?
I'll search.
Well, it's very beautiful and it has a really pretty soundtrack. We had the dev on here and he was a really cool guy.
Yeah, he was
Wait, how do you write it again?
HAUNTII.
Okay.
But I fell in love with that game almost immediately because the art, and it kind of reminded me of the art that's in that game as well.
Oh, I see.
I fell in love with it, and then I played it and liked it even more.
Oh, I've seen this game. Yeah, I have seen it.
It's a really
Leo
fun
was
game.
Fun thing is, he lives in Korea.
Oh,
Mm.
Moonloop games. Yeah, I don't know.
Lucky.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I think to get back to the point, I think it's
Yes, I'm
very
sorry.
important. Yeah, it's very important to kind of like focus on the Steam first, and then kind of like push it towards mobile version as well. Once the Steam game looks pretty nice and it's well presented, I think Balatro also did great job for that. You know, it was Steam. They had I don't know, like tremendous success, and then they moved into mobile. I think that was kind of like an obvious move. The game itself was kind of like a very well fit with the mobile gaming platform as well.
It's interesting because it really feels like people make nice games, put them on Steam, then they get some audience, players who really like this game,
Mm.
who would be willing to go to mobile and buy the game there,
Yes,
play
yes,
the game there. Yeah,
yes, exactly. I think
because
Yeah.
I think it ties. And sorry, it's like it's easier to find these games on Steam than to find them on
Mhm.
mobile.
Right, right. But then they're willing to pay
Mm.
more money to kind of like play every hour. I don't know, like every day, like
Right.
on
Mm.
PC or computing or anything, you know.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
I know that and I shared this with George and Anthony here, my compatriots. I meant to say it differently. Steam is actually
Are we talking
ranked
about
one of the.
football?
I was trying to say compatriots, but it came out. My
Compatriots?
brain's done a lot of braining today. I had a really long day. No,
think we
but
all get
I believe you. It's actually Steam was ranked pretty high with a person I know that watches the market as a social media type place, especially if you're a game developer or anything like that, because of, like you said, how they'll recommend games to other people and get
Mm.
that stuff out there. The algorithm's like really good for that. So that's like a good call to start there, of course. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And also, it feels like, you know, Steam has been in the market for a long time, and then they're like very, very dominant. So it feels like there's like a formula to like how to kind of like properly market in Steam on Steam, you know, like because get the wish list up, get the description or Steam page well written and all well
Get that
composed.
demo out there.
Yeah, get the demo out, early access,
We're working on that.
full access. Yes, yes.
I mean, Itch.io's a
yes,
good spot too, though. You said you
yeah.
had stuff on Itch.io earlier, and Itch.io is like
Yeah.
one of my favorite places to go and look to just see if there's a rare gem
Yeah,
somewhere
pretty much.
just hidden. Like, ooh,
Yeah,
look at this.
I really
A
like
lot of.
yeah a lot of a lot of games, like a lot of people making games, weird games, and it's nice to find this and play this kind
Yeah.
of
Weird
Yeah,
games are my favorite.
we also put our first 2 tracks on itch.io first, even for free for a while, just to also see how people play it, as like for testing and for checking people's feedback.
Yeah.
Mm.
We originally are a itch.io game,
Yes.
child of itch.io kind of, but
Uh,
Uh,
how,
Wow.
how was the feedback and how did you guys get any communication going on with the players?
yeah, when we released the elephant and copy machine, because we released them like separately at the beginning, because again, like this was like a long ongoing project. So it's like we made this game, this little song, then we try to put it there and then try to get some people to talk about it. And no, actually the feedback has always been positive. It's just not been very like
Well
far.
spread,
Yeah. Because I mean, in part we just haven't, like to reach this, you just need to spend a lot of time, make like a nice press release, and keep
Yes,
trying to reach
Yeah.
people.
yes, yes.
And our game also, it's not like I would say our game is not the most adequate for influencers, let's say, so people who play games. I don't
Mm.
think our game, I mean, it is a beautiful game and it's like something that you would enjoy, but at the same time it's not necessarily after you have seen somebody play you would go and say, I want to go by myself,
It's true.
play it
Yeah,
myself.
it's a one-time experience. kind of.
Yes, a bit like that. I don't know how true that is. I think I might be wrong, but yeah, it feels like it's not as marketable through influencers, let's say, as other games. There's games that are clearly multiplayer, or that it's like roguelike. It's like, ah, shit, I want to play and I want to do my own thing, right? In our game, you
Mm.
cannot really do your own thing, like much more different than what other people
Mhm.
have. There's a design. It's like a more linear, if you could say, not even linear, but like a more design experience. So yeah.
Yeah, but back in Ichidao, I mean, because it's very easy to set up as our base. So
Yes,
it's
exactly.
our like the off score base landing page
Mm.
for a long time, and then it's for many years we use that to reach out to some review,
Yeah,
and
and to
also there are also a couple of like game like streamer
yeah,
YouTuber
who
that
have found
play
it through
it.
there, and then they
Mm.
made like
Yeah, so
um,
it's nice. It's a
yes,
very friendly
YouTube videos
place.
about it. And then actually the YouTube video, like we've had a couple of YouTube videos which is like, oh, it has a lot of views, like, and people
Yeah.
really think like, oh, this looks good, this sounds good, yeah, we have positive, but that doesn't really translate into sales necessarily.
I mean,
Right,
because we
right.
didn't do thing back
Yeah,
then
we didn't
yet,
have a Steam
so
page back then, so that's our fault. We should have the wish list, get people to wish list
much
the
earlier.
game.
Yeah.
It's a learning experience.
Yes.
So when are you guys planning to release the game?
We are now currently trying to pitch to different publisher and try to just submit to either festivals or awards,
Yeah,
and to see if there's because it's always nice to work with a publisher that hit the right audience.
Mm.
So we're still hoping on that, and so if we can get a partner, then I guess the release date is actually up to them. It's not so much in our.
Mm.
But if at some point, maybe I don't know, end of this year, we don't find anyone and we give up, and then we decide to release ourselves, then maybe we will
yeah.
just release.
Basically, we are working towards release.
Mhm.
Maybe end of this year, or like second half of the year, let's say. But at the same time, we're actively approaching publishers.
Mm.
Though, like YenTing said, some publishers have told us like, because right now I feel there's publishers are not necessarily signing a lot of games. I don't know if it's because there's not enough money for it, but or like they're not getting as many returns as they want. Also, I feel like the publishers' teams are small. So like there's publishers who tell us, oh yeah, sounds looks like a good game, but we're full on game releases until end of 2026, something like that, right? So it's like,
Mhm.
sure, like we're talking now, so it's like, but 2 years later at most, it's when we can release your game because of like people's because of their team. Like basically, their
Mm.
team cannot handle more, right? Like we
Yeah.
cannot handle more releases than what we have. So that's the thing. In our case,
Mm.
though, like what YenTing said, we're working for release on Steam, and if we find a partner, we'll be happy. But we also want a good match because we want to try to see, can this be a publisher of
Mm.
people who might be like they have an audience already of players who might be interested in our game, right? We doesn't make sense for us to go to Devolver because our game is not a match for Devolver or their audience, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. I think
That's-
yeah.
I feel like
So-
your game is more like a Pixar movie.
Yeah, go with Disney or something. I don't know. For a pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting to say too. That to think about, that you probably have something you're ready to release out to the world, but you're just waiting for someone to be like, okay, we want to dive in with you on this. Because looking at your page and your publisher name on Steam is the name of your game. I was like, wait a minute. The map
Yeah,
is not
I mean we're not
mapping.
alone on that. Unfortunately, there's so many indie games like that. But yeah, it's not like we're waiting. We're done waiting in that sense. Like we're just moving forward.
Mm.
If we do find, great. We're going to try to make the best job possible at publishing this game on Steam. That's
Okay.
yeah, with or without publisher. That's where we are right now.
Have you ever thought of maybe, I don't know if you've already asked this or not before, but I didn't hear. You got three songs on there. Have you ever thought about like being like, we'll slowly releasing a song here and there and adding it to the game and or you know what I mean, or an experience,
Like a DLC.
kind of like a DLC, yeah. Like just be like, a new song came out and just I don't know how you would price it or what you would do with that, but that would be kind of interesting to kind of. I always like games. I know it sounds weird, but I always like games that were like, I know when um the original Walking Dead game came out, the first episode was $5. You'd pay your $5 and you'd play it, and at the end you're like, well, what's going to be the next one? So you'd wait for the next series to come out and you'd pay $5 more for the next season. Not saying that that's a thing, but you know what I mean? Like when you have something you enjoy, like say play through all 3 games and I'm just loving it.
You want more, no?
Yeah, like what if there's like, but is there more to this? Like, what would you say about the thought of that being a thing, like adding on slowly more games and more music?
It's
We had this idea before, but
Sorry, I was in the room. I didn't want to tell you
Oh,
guys.
no,
But
I think it's a good point. In our case, so like for example, what you're describing is we would somehow release the game as early access. No, it's like 3 songs, right? And then we have like a please buy our game, but early access means there's a promise that there's more content coming, right? There's another song that's coming in the future. Something.
Pretty much.
Yeah. In our case, though, I think there's a problem, which is this music that we based this game, like the original project, we started already many years ago, and the music is as old as the inception of the idea, right? So we have had like originally we have had prototypes and brainstorming over like the different songs of the project, and we could develop them, right? But at the same time, I feel it would be better for us because we have been working on this for so long to say, hey, this is as far as we want to go right now, but we still think this is a nice game. This is worth the money that we're going to put it there. We don't want to promise there's going to be more songs on this specific project, because we also would like to explore other ideas and other songs. So I think
I can
that's
see that.
if we can communicate that somehow also, because it does feel like 3 songs, will there be a 4th one and a 5th one? Of course there could, and there's been publishers telling us how easy it is for you to make more songs on this, or like more games on this. And it's like, sure, yeah, we could spend our time on that, or we could spend our time on new things. So
Okay, yeah.
How do you feel about what I said? Yeah, I don't know.
no, I because the moment we finish the second track, we already realized like, hey, this is taking us a lot longer than we expected. So we have thought about like, should we just release like in order and then make people kind of either buy or subscribe, and then we keep on releasing like episodes. But in the end, it's really hard to expect the making time of each track, because each track's the gameplay is totally different, the art style is also totally different. So actually you can almost see it as totally different game from the game making perspective. So I think this is just going to put us like in too much pressure, and also it's just not so easy. It's not just like creating a new level, it's not like creating a new character.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't have a fixed formula for making.
Yeah, unfortunately, our games are not like that. It's not like we have like, we've come up with a new rhythm game or music game, and then we have different songs, and we just make the level. No, in our case, it's more of a unique
experience. I didn't do it.
Oops. Sorry for the.
Are we
What
here?
did you do, Anthony? I'm just joking.
I didn't do anything. I wasn't even touching the.
No, I know,
Sorry.
but I mean, Anthony went like this, like he was like, I was like, "What'd you do?"
Sorry.
Welcome back.
A little bit of a technical issue, guys. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I think in this we're trying to make it like a round experience in this pack we're now setting to show the 3 different kind of possibilities of what do we mean by combining music and game for a storytelling.
Right.
So these three, if you get to try it out, you will see that they're all very, very different from the gameplay itself.
Mhm.
And the music is not just presented in one single way. There, we kind of break the music down um, in very different order as well. Like, I don't want to spoil too much. So
Yeah, don't
No,
do
don't
no, yeah.
don't spoil too much. It's
Don't.
fine.
I absolutely loved it when I just played it without anyone telling me what this is about.
mm,
Yeah, that's um. So I know you guys said you didn't want this to be like a rhythm game or anything like that, but was there any music? Do you either one of you have any music games you would say that's outside yours that you might have inspired you a little bit, or something that you actually enjoy playing that is a game that's kind of like has something to do with music? Or
Yeah, many. Like I really like music games in general. I think though, funnily enough, s- some of the games that inspired Offscore are not necessarily music games.
Hmm.
So
Mm.
there's, I don't know, games like Memoir and Code, a very very tiny indie game called Memoir and Code, which is an autobiographical game, but it tells the story, this autobiography, through the game and like what you do in the game. It's very interesting. It's also like set in different kind of chapters, but that was very interesting for us. And then yeah, music games. l-
because we're also puzzle games actually,
Yeah.
so we got inspired
Okay.
by a lot of puzzle story game.
Mhm.
um what would you say, for example?
Um.
Suddenly you blank. Throw it back.
Yeah, like I mean, this one that I said, Memoir and Code, it's definitely a puzzle game, autobiographical, that tells a story, like the narrative part of the puzzling. I don't know, like honestly, the even the Rusty Lake games are quite
That's
interesting.
true. Yeah,
Did you guys know these mobile games, Rusty Lake and the series? It's also a Dutch developer,
Hmm.
and they
Rusty
do
Lake.
these horror games, Cube Escape, kind of
Oh.
like escape room, and then they are also like tying with the story all the time, no? But like
Mm.
it's also puzzling for mobile kind of game. Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
We also
Mu-
just sorry, keep
no,
going.
music wise, I would want to mention maybe there's this team which is David Su and Dominique Starr, who is like also a musician and somebody who makes games, and they've also done some music games, and they've been very inspiring. Like one of them being Evergreen Blues on Steam. Evergreen Blues, a free game, which is a kind of,
It's like a
it's
musical.
like a musical, and then it's like two people and then playing a musical, but you're
Yeah.
performing the musical, something like that. It's actually
It's
very
very
interesting.
it's very simple,
Oh,
but very lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it looks very. Where you click on the buttons and it does the music or the
And
song.
you hear what
You
you're choosing.
sing,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They really play with this. Like the player chooses the lyrics, and then you hear
Oh,
the singing,
Yeah.
the song lyrics.
that
That's
looks
great.
really. I'm actually adding that to library right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does remind me of like the escape room. I like escape room games.
Yes. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Um,
We like puzzly escape, kind of like
Yeah.
being uncertain about like, oh, what do I need to do? Like what is next?
Exactly.
Hmm.
have you
Yeah,
ever
that's
heard of a game called Artful Escape?
Yeah.
I have
Wait,
not.
Artful Escape?
Art.
It's a
Art.
game where
Art.
Artful
Yeah.
Escape. It's a game where the Artful Escape. I'm sorry. I played it and I just loved it. But it's a game where you start off as a kid in a small town playing blues, and you don't necessarily like
Oh,
blues,
yeah,
and then you
yeah.
get abducted into
Ah.
space and you play a guitar, and your
Yes.
music you go through the whole level playing a guitar, and everything is happening around you because of how you play, and you having to jump and stuff like that. But it's not necessarily a rhythm game, but it is story wise, and music is just like wow. Like I always like this is super cool. And
Yeah.
it kind of when you were talking about music games, that was one of the very first ones that popped in my head was the
mm.
Artful Escape, just because it really struck a chord with me when I played it, and then I couldn't figure out for the life of me why more people weren't playing it. I was
Yeah.
like, "Where's all the people playing the game? This is so good."
Yeah. I have seen this game. I have not played this game. Yeah. In and maybe one. Let me call out one more game, which is
Okay.
not necessarily an inspiration, but something that released as we were developing the game, which is also kind of like an album game, which is this game called Teenage Blob, um, made by like some South African team,
Oh.
if I don't recall correctly.
Really?
I think it's South African. Anyway, oh, I hope I'm not wrong. But yeah, Teenage Blob. They basically made a game album for also a music album of like some punk band, and then
Mhm.
it's very very cool. It's very very interesting too, like how they like divide the game in different sections, and each section is like its own song, and then it's like all about this vibe of like being a teenager, and then with this punk vibes is very interesting. In their case, maybe it's not so much about each song's lyrics because the music is different, of course. Like in our case, like our songs are, it's just different music, kind of music too,
Mhm.
right? Like
Yeah.
punk is more like about like the feeling and then this mood, right? So like they made this game around the album, and it's very cool. You should definitely go check it out.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It looks actually. It's actually the trailer's hilarious, but yeah, no, it looks really cool. I like the part that it looks like when they took one of their games from the old Paperboy game.
Hi.
I saw some Paperboy action there. Who's
They have like a mail paper kind of, yeah.
you guys have to like text me or DM me of all these amazing games you have introduced because I can't remember it. All of those.
I got you, George. I got you.
Oh,
Or
You
you
gotta
guys still
share it in our group chat or something. I don't know. Somehow you guys have to let me know because I'm gonna be wish listing all these games and checking them out. Because see,
Also-
yeah.
Sorry,
ahead.
can I just add one
Yeah, go ahead,
last
go ahead.
one?
One more thing.
Just like very recently, coincidentally, 2 days ago, we also just finished playing a game very newly released called Miniature.
Miniatures.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that one is
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly very similar to. It's not a music game, but it's surprisingly very similar to our game because of the gameplay length, and also they have like small stories of totally different art style as well. Like
Mm.
we are always thinking like how do we market our thing that it's very hard to describe, and so we're very happy to find this one. Go check it out too. It's very cute, very pretty, um very poetic
miniatures.
as well.
Miniatures.
Yeah.
Miniatures. The
Yeah.
team is Other Tales is the team.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's also a very good example for us to
Yeah.
look up.
Yeah, and it's a very
Maybe later you guys should kind of like do like a collaboration with these indie
Yeah,
games that
maybe.
you guys have talked about. And
a bundle, right, or something. Yeah.
I don't know, bundle or
There's
do like a-
no. You've given some, but we also got to remember that we're here to come check out your game as well.
yes, off score is the main one, guys.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Wishlist Offscore on Steam. We
Yes.
recently got the Steam page online.
Yes,
So
you guys
please
have to all
do-
wish list it. I'm gonna go wish list it right now. I mean, I think I have already after I
yeah,
played the
you
game.
probably- if what we're talking about sounds interesting to you, please
Yeah.
check Offscore, a game of songs on Steam.
Oh, it definitely. I mean, even just watching that trailer, and listening to music and just seeing the visuals, I, I mean the first one that struck me, of course, was the elephant one, right? Because it's in black and white, and
Yes.
that's just to me for some reason always appealed to me, which was really weird because you'd figure it was, you'd want all this pretty, but the black and white played so well. But then on top of that, the copying machine where the paper comes out and the people pop up on the paper and they start walking around. I was like, that's kind of cool because you can see
Yeah.
also where it looks like you're creating the whatever's going to pop up on the paper. And I was like, okay, I could dig it. Give me a shovel. I think I can dig this.
Yeah. Is
So-
there a way to play the demo or the game or?
So hopefully, I'm working on a Steam demo right now, and
Okay.
we're going to have that online beginning of this upcoming year.
Okay.
Hopefully,
I mean-
the next Steam Naps Fest. But yeah, anyway, keep an eye. Just
Yeah.
if you wish list it, then it will tell you when there's a demo. So
Yes. So
You're gonna have to
everyone
let
has
us
to
know
wish
because we're
list it
gonna
now.
play it. Yeah, I'm following
Yeah.
your page, so
nice.
I don't know if that's
Yeah.
gonna tell me when you pop it up for demo, but
I think so. I think so. Hopefully.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So you should and then you guys also have a Discord as well. So if you guys are all interested, go to their Discord channel. I'm joining that today.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Oh, you're joining
Yeah.
it today?
I didn't.
I-
Come on, I didn't have enough time.
Well, no,
Sorry.
I just need
My
you to
bad.
link it for me. That's all I need.
I can add whatever you guys want me to link it to the description. So HIO page, your personal page, Linktree, I don't know, any of the pages I'll put in the description. And for the demo, I think you shouldn't like give out everything for like one song. I don't know, because you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I felt that like
We
after
are a short
finishing the
game,
game.
We're a short game. How much do you want from the demo, right? We're
Exactly,
three
like
short.
maybe like 30 seconds of it or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
I don't
just
even I
half
don't
of
even know.
half a level or half a
Yeah, I
song.
don't even
Yeah,
know like how the demos work, but like
that's a bit
don't
too
give it up.
cool. But yeah, I don't know. We
I
need to
mean,
figure out.
I just want the vinyls because I keep looking at their
Yeah,
page and
that
they
would be
have the vinyls.
awesome.
Are those actual
You
real
sh-
vinyls? I thought that was just.
I mean, we do have actually a CD. We don't have a vinyl, but
Oh,
we do have a physical
Oh,
CD.
You see?
oh, merch
But it's
coming.
like a
Game merch
limited
coming.
edition. Yeah, I don't know.
look at Anthony. Look how close he is to the screen. He's looking at that like these vinyls are mine.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're like so unique. It's like this one thing. It's like because I like watching short story Pixar movies. So it's like one of those things that you just see the character doing something. They don't talk. They're just doing something, and you always hear
Yes,
some
yes.
music coming along.
Mm-mm. I
So
know
that's
what
like
you mean.
Yeah.
so that's how I like.
Yeah,
That's
They don't have to
cool.
say it. They don't have to say a word. They just gotta do their action, and the music follows.
The music and everything just plays into it, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and you guys, I think if you were ever to kind of make a physical copy of the game, you should probably make it into like a vinyl type. I don't know,
Yeah.
like
I think
special merch
pressing
set.
vinyl is kind of hard now, though, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
kind
I
of
know, I know.
expensive.
It's probably gonna be expensive, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would dig that.
Are
I would
getting
dig
Yeah,
that
I
more
black
would
and
dig that
white.
too.
right now. Actually, a lot of more people are buying vinyls more than CD.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
See?
Retro, going
I just was
retro.
thinking about on your guys' end, like how much would it cost to press a vinyl versus making a CD? You know?
Well,
Yeah.
what is it? I am 8-bit. They do vinyls for a lot of indie games.
Yeah. They're kind of publisher too, game publisher. The
They
IMA
are a
did.
publisher also. They're a good publisher.
I think
Go.
the elephant covers my favorite, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the copy. I like the copy machine because it's like
It
it's a copy machine.
Just make all three versions, different versions of. Anthony will buy all three of them. So
If only we can plug in the vinyl machine into the computer and then make the game run from it somehow. That would
that'd be
be
sick. That'd be
Yeah.
sick. Oh
If
wow.
only we can design a new game console, which is
a game console.
it's
which
just
is-
vinyls. All right, put the needle down. There we go.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'd
Yeah.
play it. Just
Yeah,
you gotta
definitely.
try it.
Well, yeah, yeah, it's awesome. I think you guys are gonna be adding more stuff on the Steam page, so I think people should be wishlisting your game from the start and then keep getting the updates from there. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And if
Yeah,
I was gonna
go
say
ahead.
also too, it sounds like you guys have maybe some future plans that you probably I don't know if you want to talk about or not, but it sounded like you guys are ready for some different new things after this, after you drop this, huh?
Yeah, but like
it's
yes.
really just to finish this.
yeah,
think.
let's. I think right now our focus
It
is
lasts
on
very
release
long.
this. Like let's
Sorry.
release.
Yes.
So,
We're-
yeah.
we can-
My
we can
ADHD
invite-
breeds like, let's move on to your next game.
You know what? To be fair, just you can also just follow YenTing. She does music much faster than we do game. So just follow
okay.
her, and then you
I've
will
already
find
followed her.
new releases
Hold
of
on. Do
music.
you have a page? Do you have can I find you on Spotify?
You can find me on Spotify. Just search YenTing Low. There's 2 albums, 2 EP, and I mean I keep on releasing music. It's a ongoing thing.
Yeah.
And after I get, into game making, I realize, oh, it's so much faster to make music. When all my music friends are saying like, how hard it is to make music, I always think that,
You ever
okay,
played you
talk
made a
about
game?
you. Yeah, it's
You're like,
really,
sounds rough.
Yeah.
yeah, it
All
really lasts
right.
too. I think we started in like 2018.
18. I think that the project, like the prototyping
Okay.
and is like 2018.
Yeah.
So that's
See
many
how
years
many
ago.
years has passed.
Wow.
So yeah,
Oh, yeah,
making
you
games
have,
takes time.
you
Moreover,
have the
we're
offscore thing on here as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah. So we have two things: wishlist the game and follow YenTing on Spotify.
yay.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Done and done.
Yes, it will be done soon. Anyways, yes. Yeah, it was awesome because we just met like in real life, and then I kind of was able to kind of invite the two to our podcast. So that was amazing
Yes. You
Yeah,
met
thank
them
to
you
at
so
Burning
see
Beaver.
George
at
meets all
Burning
the
Beach.
people.
Burning
George.
Beach. Yes. Yes.
George
So
is a professional schmoozer. That's what I would call.
yeah, and also we should invite you to your next project is kind of like going and see if we could talk about that as well like next time if you guys want to. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
nice. Yeah,
I'm looking
thank you
forward to
so
this
much
one
for
coming
having
out.
us. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
it was nice. It was nice to talk to you guys here. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Yeah, but thank you for coming, and I'm pretty sure all three of us at least will be listening to YenTing's music for a while. After this,
Thank
so
you.
I'm gonna be jamming there while I'm work after lunch. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I'm definitely
He's gonna be
looking into it.
jamming out.
Ooh, yes, I
Just
love
jam with your
jazz
coffee.
music.
I mean,
Yes,
With the cup of
yes,
coffee.
perfect. And you
I'm
should all
just.
play. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I would appreciate meeting you guys. This is really fresh to
Mm,
meet people who not only are you making video games, but you wanted to make a video game that combined music and not just a
mm,
rhythm game style. And I find that
perfect.
very
Yep.
admirable. That's actually really
Mm-hmm.
cool. So I'm really looking forward to your game coming out. So let's get this out, okay? So
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
just kidding.
you.
Just kidding. I want to play it now.
Yes.
I can send you a link. I don't know, just send me a message.
No, you're fine,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh,
All right. Yes. Do you have anything to add, last Anthony, or no?
Nothing really. I want the vinyl.
he wants that vinyl, I tell
He
you.
wants that vinyl, so you guys better make it, or if you ever have it, like send it.
Yeah, let him know if you make a vinyl.
Yes.
And he likes the copy
store
machine
page.
one, is
He
what he
needs
said.
the store page. But anyways,
Mm.
okay.
Actually, that's a question for you, Anthony. If they came out with 3 different covers, all those covers for vinyls, I got a feeling you would get every single one of them.
Yeah, he will.
100%.
1000%.
You know what they say? Vinyls music sounds so much better than CD and listening to like YouTube
Oh.
and Spotify.
Mm,
This might blow your mind away, but I grew up on vinyls. That's how old I
Man.
am.
yeah. Okay. Thank you for coming, and we will listen to your songs.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
excited.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming, and I'll see you guys next week.
Were you seeing them?
Next
Bye-bye.
week. We see them
Bye-bye.
next week.
No, I see you two next week.
Oh,
Oh, but what about
I'm
them?
so confused. You said
I
them.
mean,
Yeah, we'll listen to next week's episode too.
yes, they will be with us, listening to the episode.
Because you know I have a hard time saying goodbye.
Yes, I know. Zach is gonna cry, so
I get really emotional. So when you
Mhm.
guys leave, a little bit of me leaves with you. I'll be sad.
We're
See you
here
guys.
connected to the internet.
And there's 2 of you, so that's definitely double sadness now. So I hope that doesn't hurt your, make you feel bad later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, though.
Thank you.
You're
Yes,
awesome.
thank you for coming.
Yeah, Zach gets emotional. I do too. And Anthony.
Anthony, he just doesn't show it as well.
Oops.
I
Hides
can.
it.
If I show it,